Возлюбленная пара отправляется в загородный дом, чтобы отпраздновать годовщину. Однако в лесной глуши, вдали от людей, их начинают терзать жуткие видения и страшные предчувствия.
Не хотели вторгаться к вам в такой особый вечер?
The action of the film begins with a montage of beautiful girls from different eras, but not in a culinary sense, rather from an editing perspective. The selection ends with views of their bloody, screaming faces. The story shifts to the present day. Dr. Malcolm and artist Liz are driving through picturesque forests to a remote cabin to celebrate their relationship anniversary. The refined city child Liz calls her friend Maggie to boast about the achievement. For the first time in her life, she is going far, far away from civilization, all the way to the countryside.
Make yourself at home.
I'm on my way.
Upon arrival, the woman examines the exotic backwoods. In the process, she notices a box tied with twine on the table containing a cake and fingerprints stained with something, presumably chocolate. According to Malcolm, it's a gift from the local caretaker. The man hangs one of Liz's paintings on the wall. Meanwhile, the woman admires the nearby surroundings through the windows, particularly the neighbor's house. According to Malcolm, a slightly crazy but completely harmless old man lives there. Liz breathes on the window and draws her heart while her man prepares the fish bought in advance at the market. Although it doesn't look like second freshness sturgeon, it doesn't look great either. The artist is taking a bath, not noticing how someone unseen leaves a breath mark on the window behind her and draws a heart, just like she recently left a mark on the window. From sweet bliss, she is distracted by the cold breath of the icy wind, a feeling as if someone walked over her grave, as they used to say in the old days. During dinner, the couple is suddenly distracted by a persistent doorbell. Behind the door is Malcolm's cousin Darren with his new girlfriend, the model Minky, who doesn't speak English but acts as if she's high.
Malcolm is a romantic.
And always has been.
The casual tone and complete disregard for etiquette by Darren embarrass Liz. This forces Malcolm to call his cousin for a private conversation. When they leave, Minky, supposedly not speaking English, says the cake tastes awful. Her teeth are smeared with chocolate.
Tastes like such crap.
Immediately after this, the brothers appear and Darren, apologizing for the sudden visit, leaves with his girlfriend. After they leave, finishing dinner and washing the dishes, Malcolm suggests to Liz to enjoy the dessert, a gift chocolate cake. She admits that she has not liked chocolate since childhood, but the man insists that she should eat a piece. After trying a slice, Liz states that it tastes like another substance of a similar color. At night, she has a nightmare as if someone is pointing a barrel at her head. Waking up, Liz goes downstairs, lighting her way with her phone's flashlight, and stumbles upon the cake box. The woman grabs the dessert with her hands and sees that inside, besides the cake and cream, there are severed human fingers, but this doesn't stop her. She greedily pounces on the dessert smeared in her hand. Early in the morning, the beautiful model Minky wanders through the forest bathed in the first rays of sunlight. Lost among the dense thickets of trees, she fearfully presses against a trunk, gazing at the unfamiliar natural beauty. At that very moment, some sinister yet extremely flexible creature grabs her and soars upward across the tree trunk. Waking up in the morning, Malcolm notices that Liz is missing. From the second floor, he sees her downstairs on the first floor, drawing something in a sketchbook, professional deformation of an artist. At breakfast, he says he's worried about one of his patients, Mrs. Portnoy, who is in a coma while he's here dozing. Liz calmly takes in the information, continuing to sketch faces of the girls who disappeared in the film's prologue. During the day, the couple goes for a walk in the forest. After all, they need something to do in the forest cabin besides sitting locked up within four walls. During the walk, Liz finds an ancient medallion in the river. When she picks it up, she is overwhelmed by waves of visions. Two youths in the distant past stumble upon a pregnant woman in a lowland. Liz doesn't tell Malcolm about the medallion found in the river. When they return home, the man says he needs to go back to the city. Mrs. Portnoy's relatives have come to the hospital to say goodbye to her if she doesn't wake up. Being a doctor, Malcolm has to attend an event which he informs Liz about. Despite the tears over wasted weekends, she allows her boyfriend to go to his beloved work.
Go. You did take an oath, and I'll be here rummaging through your drawers.
Left in proud solitude, Liz calls her friend Maggie to talk about what happened while simultaneously watching the neighbors through binoculars. Her friend expresses concerns that the doctor might be a married womanizer, hiding his true marital status from his lover Liz. Therefore, that's why he rushed back at the whim of his lawful wife.
You deserve more than to be a woman kept locked up.
Unhappy with this version, Liz hangs up the call. Continuing her observation, she sees the head of a dead woman in a pile of the neighbor's garbage bags, which moves but suddenly disappears upon a second look. And this despite the fact that various shadows are wandering in the background. Tormented by different thoughts, Liz wakes up from a daytime nap and goes to the kitchen to drink some water. Suddenly she notices a girl, Minka, sitting on a chair. She suddenly splits into herself and a miniature copy, then sneaks up close to Warren. Washing up in bed, the woman realizes that this forest squirrel came for a friendly visit in a nightmare. The other thing is that she spilled wine from the glass on the couch. Now she has to clean the stain. A knock at the door distracts her from the laborious process. Darren, Malcolm's brother, has arrived, also having the right to be in this house. Liz doesn't want to let him in, but there aren't many options to keep out a legal co-owner. As soon as it started, Darren suggested celebrating the meeting by drinking a bottle of whiskey. To avoid any incidents of erotic harassment, Liz quietly locks herself in the bathroom on the second floor, from where she hears suspicious rustling throughout the house in general and on the roof in particular. Visitor Darren at this time arms himself in the kitchen with a meat cleaver, after which he slowly ascends the stairs. Whatever his initial intentions were, they likely did not include being pursued by mysterious shadows that eventually drag his nearly decapitated body to the attic. When the suspicious sounds subsided, a braver Liz, deciding that Darren had gone somewhere in the direction of 3 letters where she mentally sent him, leaves the restroom, not noticing that unseen shadows are watching. In the basement, Liz calls Malcolm with a recharged phone to tell him what happened and ask him to return quickly. Meanwhile, the front door locks from the outside and the music player turns on. Going up to the kitchen, Liz finds Darren's gold watch stuck in the garbage disposal. He didn't even say goodbye to her. The composition of mad performances is completed by the appearance of an old woman with a plastic bag on her head, around whom friendly flies are circling. Liz barely had time to be properly scared before the guest disappeared, leaving behind only a box with a cake exactly like the one the caretaker handed over upon arrival. Realizing that she understands nothing, the woman makes one of the few sensible decisions as she calls Maggie to have her friend take her away from this hospitable backwater. However, the mobile connection cuts off before they can discuss the evacuation plan. Liz notices a car outside the window from which a man enters the house, the owner, Malcolm. She directly asks him about the woman with the bag on her head, but he doesn't understand what she's talking about. Even the visit of the missing cousin doesn't faze Malcolm. Liz says she wants to leave immediately, but the man asks her to stay to celebrate their anniversary. For her peace of mind, he even searches the whole house but finds no one suspicious, only a bottle of wine. Although Liz still wants to leave, Malcolm convinces her to have a drink first, relax, and all that. However, when she asks, "How is Mrs. Portnoy?" Malcolm doesn't immediately understand what she's talking about. Realizing that her boyfriend is deceiving her, the woman locks herself in the bathroom, where she suddenly finds an old photo of Malcolm with another woman and 2 children. She realizes that her friend was right. The suitor is actually married and is hiding the fact that she is just a mistress. Malcolm opens the bathroom door, admitting that there was never a lock, just an illusion to reassure guests. When Liz asks to be taken away immediately, he says he cannot allow her to leave this house. He has other plans for her. They go to the living room, where the man tells her what is really happening here. About 200 years ago, he and his brother, as teenagers, found a pregnant woman in the lowland near the river who looked exactly like Liz. When she tried to escape, they shot her. The wounded woman was brought home to the farm by the brothers and locked in the pigsty, where she gave birth. In the morning, they found her exhausted in scraps of pig intestines. Realizing that the creatures she gave birth to had devoured all the livestock and hidden somewhere on the farm, Malcolm kills the woman with a shot to the head. but since then they and their brother have constantly been feeding the creatures born from that woman. In return, they extend their lives by granting them immortality, just like a goldfish fulfills a wish when caught in the old man's net. And now Malcolm is forced to confront Liz with the harsh reality: she will die in this house, in the middle of nowhere, in the forest wilderness. All so that he would live for several more decades. Malcolm himself, out of personal sympathy, did not want to witness her death, so he left a little earlier. But something clearly did not go as planned. Additionally, to justify himself, he noted that the neighbors do the same thing as he and his brother, only not as gracefully, without love and effort, in a sloppy manner. Hearing the footsteps of mysterious creatures on the roof and walls of the house, Liz tries to escape. She sneaks to the second floor, where she finds her smartphone, but there's no signal. Meanwhile, local creepy monsters are sneaking up on her, possessing various abilities, like the skill to cosplay a Spider-Man dachshund, thanks to their long bodies and ability to crawl on walls. In an attempt to reach the drainpipe, the woman notices 3 hideous faces peeking out from the roof, coming for her soul, after which she slips and falls into the waters of the river flowing near the house. At this time, Malcolm is gathering her personal belongings into a box, recalling how he met her in the first place. He carries the box, marked with the date of their meeting, to the closet where he keeps memories of past lovers, who were charmed by him and heartlessly sacrificed to a mysterious monster for his own longevity. Liz comes to in the basement of the house. Apparently, she didn't manage to drown in the river. She sees mysterious and disgusting children crawling around her, the children of a madam shot 200 years ago who resembles her. The grateful children built a shrine in the basement in her honor from a bodiless mannequin, on top of which they placed their mother's skull preserved in honey with a hole in the head. Liz is slowly surrounded by creatures resembling mimes on amphetamines. Then a woman with a bag on her head emerges from the darkness. When she removes it, multiple faces are visible all around the periphery of her skull. The sight is as terrifying as it is mesmerizing. The monsters slowly approach Liz, who is laughing hysterically. Due to her resemblance to the mother, they accept her and caress her with their hands. Upstairs in the house, Malcolm turns up the volume of the player to drown out the sounds from the basement. He drowns his sorrow in alcohol, then goes to sleep. But waking up in the morning, he sees that he has aged quite a bit. Not fully awake yet, the man sees one of the monsters in the doorway, the one that resembles a giraffe with its long neck. In the next scene, aged by the years, Malcolm is hanging upside down somewhere in the forest. The monsters have broken their agreement with him. Liz, the survivor with black eyes like the woman who gave birth to the monsters 200 years ago, offers him a piece of cake, the same poisoned treat he fed her on the day of arrival. The old man initially refuses, but then eats it anyway. After that, Liz lowers the old man's head into a jar of honey to preserve it, just like she and her brother once preserved the head of the local monster's mother, who looked exactly like Liz. The woman leaves, leaving Malcolm hanging in the forest in the dawn sunlight. The film, like the revenge of the mysterious creatures, ends here.